And tonight, the flying angel has just arrived, just 2 hours ago, Daddy Janki. And I think her first thought was to come and meet everyone and share with everyone. Just like to ask, who has met Daddy in some corner of this world? Can you put up your hands, please? The majority. So perhaps Daddy doesn't need so much introduction for many of you. But when I began with the BKs, which was 30 years ago in London, when London was a very tiny centre, Daddy was the first person from the Brahma Kumaris that I met. And really she has been an extraordinary inspiration to me and so many others throughout my spiritual life. And when I see her, so many things come to mind, but she's such an inspiration to me of a person who just keeps crossing barriers and obstacles, all based on this extraordinary love and relationship with God. And she crisscrosses the world, filling hearts, so many hearts with that love, that truth and that wisdom from God. And I think, as you know, she's the international director of the Brahma Kumaris worldwide. And in this BK family, as we call it, there are the 3 elder sisters, Daddy Gozar, Daddy Prakashmani, and Daddy Janki. So let's give her a very, very warm welcome from all the Peace of Mind participants. Let's show a very warm welcome to Daddy Janki.
ये तो पूछा ही नहीं जिन्होंने नहीं देखा है जिन्होंने देखा है पूछा जिन्होंने नहीं देखा है
She would like to ask who hasn't seen her, so if you don't mind putting up. So maybe 50-50. 50-50.
अच्छा Om Shanti. Everyone say Om Shanti. अच्छा अर्थ का तो पता है ना
You know its meaning, don't you? You know what Om Shanti means?
इतना अंदर आत्मा शांत हो जाती है
The soul becomes so peaceful only on seeing Om Shanti, and the face, and there's a smile on the face. The soul becomes peaceful. When it is peaceful, the face reveals that peace in a form of natural smile. Actually, this is something to experience within, but we have to speak out Om Shanti, otherwise how to greet each other? We greet each other by saying Om Shanti. We get good response. People say, how are you? Hello, all that. But then when we say Om Shanti, everybody else will reply, Om Shanti means I'm a peaceful soul. And then you nod, Om Shanti, yes, I'm a peaceful soul. I have heard that you have been hearing for the past 5 days. I don't think you ever heard like these things which you are hearing here before. Here, there's no shopping center, no place to tour around. You are sitting in one atmosphere and listening about the soul, about the Supreme Soul, about meditation. And the more you hear all these things, and also with concentration, if you hear these things and you also churn on what you hear, then you feel that, yes, whatever is being said is really worthwhile. It needs to be understood well and then to be imbibed too. Food may be very good, very lavish, very tasty, just waiting for you on the table, but how will you know its taste unless you eat it, unless you taste it? So only by tasting you'll come to know how good the food is. So here there are 3 things to know. Who am I? Who am I? I remember the very first day when I came to Baba, when Shiv Baba started speaking through Brahma Baba, and I not only heard but then I experienced, yes, I'm not this body, but I'm a soul, and the soul is here with the body, and therefore there are bodily relationships. But then when I say I'm a soul, immediately I feel that I finish my ego, my arrogance, and I become free of ego or arrogance. I feel so free. So ego, attachment, anger, all these come because of I, the consciousness of the physical I. You have heard of it, didn't you? They have heard, haven't they, of who they are? So each one, in order to recognize the self, to visualize the self, you have got this atmosphere. You have this atmosphere. Here there's no other news, no newspaper, no news on television too, no telephones too. I don't know if you have mobiles too. Here also, if somebody has a mobile, I think you should not switch it on. Keep it off. Nowadays, we know, no, when we enter a flight, we have to switch off the mobile. But once the plane lands, again mobiles start. Because people are so used to thinking and churning on external things. I get so frightened. But then people will say, why are you afraid? Why are you afraid? I say, it's not afraid, but then I think it's waste of time. So the most important thing is, who am I and whose am I? Who is that one who belongs to everyone? So I have to go into the depth of that. And in order to experience this depth, you have been invited here. Many people ask me, why do you invite people here? You have your own principles, they say. But then it's not that, it's our principles, it's disciplines for all. If each one understands who am I and whose am I, then the whole life will change. So you must have got this explanation, I'm sure. And once you have understood it, you'll never forget it, I'm sure of that too. Because there's so much strength in this. Because of that strength, you're easily able to forget all the waste things of life. Because once I've recognized myself, I've recognized who my Supreme Father is or to whom I belong, I finish off my slavery, I finish off my thoughts that I'm under someone. But then I become free. So who am I and whose am I leads me to freedom. I, my leads to so much of attachments, and it's like a spider in a web. It's caught in that web. It can't come out of it on its own. So the more I say I, my, I get caught in this web more and more. This web becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. And I have no time even to think of how to come out of this web. When I say my, and the more I say, the bigger the web grows. Right from the time of my birth, this web started, and then at first I said my mother, father, my friends, my home, my family, my wife, my children, my this, my, and then after that I'm totally entangled, totally caught up in everything. So in this world, why there is jealousy? Because the thought is that what I possess, I should have it. But what others possess, even I should get that. That is, what is mine, but what belongs to others also should become mine. So there's jealousy of why others possess. I should possess that too. So first is attachment, and then there's jealousy, and then there is hatred too. But then once I say that I belong to one Supreme Father, I am a soul and I am the child of the Supreme Being who is the Father of all souls, irrespective of any religion, caste, creed, sect, color. So much, so many distinctions, barriers in this world are all because of I and mine. But I am a soul and I belong to one Supreme Father, and we are all one too, because it's one universal family. Through this consciousness, you can feel so peaceful, so contented, so satisfied within. I travel around the world, and I don't know if I've missed any country, but if any country is still missed out, maybe it will be completed soon. But then wherever I go, I always feel that that everyone belongs to me. Maybe it took you 5 days to feel your belongingness here. But then wherever I go in within half an hour, I feel everything belongs to me. Like I was in Abuja in Africa, and I met the president. I was there for half an hour. First, the president could not meet, but the secretary said, okay, if the president cannot meet, at least I can meet the secretary. So he invited. But then half an hour passed, 1 hour passed. He didn't want to go. He didn't want to finish because there is so much altruistic love in this. And altruistic love means no selfishness, and there's only truth and truth, because I don't want anything from anyone. I don't want anything from anyone. My hands are empty. I have white clothes on and my pocket is empty. I never carry a bag. I never carry a purse. I don't know how to carry a purse. I don't know how to carry a bag also. And I don't think whether I need to carry a pen and pencil. I don't think I need to do that too. Because whatever understanding God has given to me, that I am merging within myself. That is being absorbed within me, and then that is brought in life. So it's that Supreme Father who has given that understanding. And no one ever told me before that you are a soul. No one told me that you have mind, intellect, resolves, or tendencies, samskaras in you. What is a body? Body is made up of 5 elements. I don't know if they have been told about the 5 elements number-wise. This body is made up of 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and ether. And the 5 elements comprise the whole cosmos, the whole universe. There are not no 6 elements, just 5 elements. And many would like to know it number-wise. All these are 5 elements. First of all, you have ether on top. Then there is air. Then there is fire. Then there's water. And then there is earth. The body is made up of 5 elements. There is ether inside. There is air inside. There is water inside, there's fire inside, there's earth inside. Is it not? All the 5 elements comprise the body. The body is made up of these 5 elements, and then after death, the 5 elements mingle in the 5 elements. Is there any other way of leaving the body? The soul leaves the body. Any other way of taking birth? How a human being dies, how a human being is born. It's similar for all, is it not? But there is one Supreme Being who is beyond birth and death, who never takes birth, who never dies. And by recognizing that Supreme Father, you have to go beyond the limits of this world. And once I recognize, then the intellect is drawn upwards all the time. even if there's someone who does not believe in God, but if he, at the time of distress or sorrow or any pain or any need, his eyes will look up to the Supreme. And in India, whenever a person dies, people will remind him, think of God above, think of God above. You have to go above, you have to go beyond. So here too, when we are sitting, the intellect has to go beyond. The intellect wanders and wastes things, wastes thoughts. It goes through vicious cycle of impure thoughts too. Then these eyes also wander because the thoughts are wandering, and we look at the world from the body conscious view, and we look at the defects of others. So this is what the intellect does. It sees the defects of others, it thinks of the defects of others, it how is that one, how is this one, and sees only the weaknesses of others. We hardly see the good qualities of others. So once I have the understanding that I'm a soul and the other one is also a soul and we're all children of one Supreme Being, then we are able to churn in a proper way, in the right way. The churning is based on self-awareness, on the awareness of others as souls, as children of one Supreme Father. And then I will not see the weakness of others. Instead, I will make effort to finish my own weakness, which is in me. So, before the eyes were looking only at defects, the mind was thinking only of defects, but then now the mind sees, not just keeps wandering on one's defects, but then feels that it should remove one's defects and doesn't see the defects of others, instead sees the good qualities of others. And once you are able to free yourself from thinking of others, from gossiping of others, then your head will be so cool, that it's possible, is it not, to keep your head cool? There are three things. First is thinking about others, and then seeing the defects of others, and then after finding faults in others, relating to others about others' faults. But then we become free from all this and think of the self, churn about the self, realize the self. Then the soul gets purified. I'm able to see my pure self in the mirror of knowledge. And that leads me to visualizing the Supreme Father too. Then that Supreme Father fills so much power in me because I have become free now to take everything from the Father. Then the fourth thing is, so first is soul, second is Supreme Soul, third is, what does time tell us? The cycle of time. What does it tell us? And for that, what am I supposed to do? To know the karma. So seeing time and realizing what I have to do, I do my best. The whole world today is concerned about how peace will come in the world. How will there be peace in the world? Politicians, businessmen, all people alike, even a common man thinks, how will peace come in this world? But then here you get the answer. You know what will happen. Whatever will happen will be good. So, but who will make it good? How will it become good? People question, what will happen? And we say, yes, whatever will happen will be good. But what is that form of good? And who will do that good? We will do it. How will we do it? We will meet. We will come together and do it. The one whose eyes open,
अंधकार को मिटाने
they stop seeing others, they stop thinking about others,
रोशनी
but
सृष्टि
they
पर
see the self. The third eye gets enlightened.
और कुछ इसमें लिखने पढ़ने सोचने की बात ही नहीं है
In this, you don't have to read anything else, you
अपने
don't
आप
have
को
to think
समझने की
about
है
anything else. You have to just understand
आईने
yourself.
में मुंह देखने का अक्ल चाहिए
You must know the art of looking at yourself in the mirror of knowledge.
आईना साफ हो
For that, the mirror should be clean,
तो समझ कहती है
and
विवेक कहता है अंदर का
the
आईना साफ कर
understanding
पहले
is
बहुत
that
मैल चढ़ी है
first the mirror should be cleansed. Too
आईना घर
much
में हो
dust has come
मैला
on the
हो तो
mirror.
कोई काम का
If
नहीं
a mirror is dusty or if it
आईने
is
के defect क्या
defected,
है
if there are too
और
many
कोई कहे कि
spots
तुम
on the
ऐसा
mirror,
हो
then you
ऐसा
can't
लगेगा
see
और आईने
yourself
में मुंह देखेंगे
properly.
पता चलेगा
Somebody may say you're ugly, but then you may get
यहाँ भी कोई
upset.
किसी को
Why
कुछ
is he
कहता
saying
है
like
तो
that? But
नाराज
if
होती
you
है
look at your own self in the mirror
जो
and you may
अंतर
not like your face
है
sometimes, so the mirror tells you what you are.
साक्षी होकर के देखते हैं
But then we don't have to just get upset by seeing
अंदर अपने आप को
ourselves.
देखेंगे साक्षी
On the
होकर के
contrary,
देखेंगे
we have to
किसी को
see as a
सामने रख के
detached
नहीं देखेंगे
observer. We don't
हम
have to
अपना देखते
compare
हैं
the
हम दूसरे
self
का
with
क्या
anybody else because I'm seeing my own face. I'm not
बहुत पुरानी
seeing
बात
somebody
है वहाँ
else's
हम गए
face.
थे
I'm not comparing
तो
my face
आईने
with
ऐसे होते
anybody
थे
else.
जो लंबा मुंह होता
I
था जो
remember I
चौड़ा
went
मुंह
to a
था
place where
मुंह
which
दिखा
was a
करता
hall of
आईने
mirrors.
ऐसे होते
The mirrors
ऐसे
were
हो
of
भी नहीं
different
सकता था
types. I
कोई
don't know
जाते
where I went, but then
सारा उसमें ऐसा था
different types of mirrors.
भाई
In some
दिखता नहीं है
mirrors, you
तो
look,
चलो ना
yeah, you
एक
know,
आईने में
I
तो
look so
मोटे
fat.
मैं
The body looks so fat.
मोटी
In
जाऊँ
some, it was so tall. In some, so short. In some, so
लंबी हो
thin. In
मोटी हो
some, you know, very strange. There were different types of
अभी
mirrors.
ये भी देखना है अंदर
So
से डीप साइलेंस
here you have to go into the
आईना
mirror of knowledge and understand
नेचुरल
yourself
फॉर्म
in a natural way,
दिल
in a
दर्पण
true
है
form, because your heart is like a mirror too. You're
साइलेंस
able
में
to,
बैठ के
you
सफा
can
हो
go
जाना
into
है
silence
यहाँ साइलेंस का
and
टाइम है
see yourself
मैं
in
आपको
its
बताऊं मैं
perfect
यहाँ जब
form.
भी ब्रह्मा
Here you
कुमारी
have
बनी
lots of time for that.
12
I remember
साल
when I first came to this organization, I
ब्रह्मा
became
बाबा
a
ने भी
Brahma
मेरे से नहीं
Kumari.
पूछा तुम कैसी
For
आई
the,
क्या
for
किया
the first 12 years,
और
Brahma Baba
कोई ने
never
नहीं
asked
पूछा
me
मेरे से
how
हम
you
पूछते ही
came,
कहाँ से आई ये
from
कौन
where you have come, and
आ गई
what's
बस
your family. Nothing. We all came and we came.
13 साल
We didn't even think of the
कोई
past.
दुनिया की बात
We didn't
लगता
think
था
of anything of the world
पूछना बोलना
because we used to
जरूरत ही
feel
नहीं
that if I ask from which
जरूरत ही नहीं
family you are, it's a waste of time, waste of thoughts. So there's no need to ask also.
तो ये दुनिया में तो अनेक बातें पूछने
In the world,
खोजने
people ask so
सोचने
many
उनका
things.
टेलीफोन नंबर लेने उनका एड्रेस का
We
पता चला
take their
है
full introduction, we
सारा
take their
करके आनी
telephone
चाहिए
number, the email
जाना
and
चाहिए
female, all that.
अरे इतने जंतर से
So
फ्री
many
होने
waste
में
thoughts. But
स्व को
then
देख स्व को देखना
here we
ऐसे
learn how
देखने
to
मजा
be
आएगा
free, and in that free state,
मजा
we
आएगा
enjoy seeing the self in a spiritual way. You really enjoy it. You feel so happy. It's just a great joy. It's such a great. Someone in Panama, the president's wife told me, "You are very beautiful."
ब्यूटीफुल तो वो थी
And actually, she was so beautiful. But then she was
मुझसे
telling
ही
me,
कहती यू आर ब्यूटीफुल
she told me, "You are beautiful."
क्यों कहा ब्यूटीफुल
Why did she say that you are
इनर
beautiful?
ब्यूटी जो अंदर है
Because
ना
of the inner beauty.
ये बाहर की कौन सी है आर्टिफिशियल
The external beauty is artificial beauty. How much money people spend to become beautiful?
कितना खर्चा
How much
कितना
money they
टाइम
spend and how much
ब्यूटी
time
पीछे
they
है।
spend too. And what's this beauty like?
और हम फ्री
And here we are free. We don't spend money on physical beauty.
4:30 जा ऊपर 4:30 मैंने कहा 4:30 आना हाँ अच्छा मुझे क्या परिपात है
So I came at 4 o'clock here, and then I was told that I have to give class at 6:30. I said, yes, I will give. They said, Dadi, you won't be tired. I said, no, because we know how to make good use of every second, every moment. Why should we be tired too? So first, the rubbish, the dirt, the dust has to be wiped out, has to be cleansed, has to be removed from the mirror, and then the inner beauty will be revealed. So, one example I can never forget, it's a very old example. I remember, you know, when Dr. Nirmala and sister of New York, Mohini Ben, they called me to London. We held an exhibition in the basement of a hall. It was in the basement, and it was so dirty, so dirty, so dirty, so much filth there. It had not been cleaned for a long time. And we were told, okay, you can hold your exhibition here. So I told one brother, see if you can clean it, at least clean one part of it. And when he cleaned one part of it, was so good, so good. And then three brothers, they came together and cleaned the whole basement. It became so good, so good. And we had a very good exhibition there. So many people came. Before that, it hadn't been cleaned for years and years. And then after that, it looked so good once it was cleaned. So we really don't know how much filth has accumulated on us. Externally, we may try to look very beautiful, but internally there's so much dirt, so much dirt. What something would throw in a dustbin, that also we take it inside us. Everybody should throw that in a dustbin. It's like throwing rubbish, so stealing, backbiting, and having jealousy, anger, all that should be thrown away, what other people do. But I take that, what people don't want, I take it in me. So once I'm able to clean myself, then I can see my proper self very easily. Then let my life become a mirror for others to see the truth. This is what God wants us. This is what time wants us to do. Time wants us to become the mirror for the world. Time is telling us, see the condition of the world and change yourself. This earth is also wanting that. Earth is saying, change yourself in order to change me. This earth which is giving us food to eat, it's giving us land to sleep on. Earth is like mother for us, and here we commit sinful actions on this mother earth. God is our father. So the father is saying, what are you doing to your mother? This earth which is our mother, what are you doing to it? What have you done to it? Why do earthquakes take place? Why are there floods? Because this land, earth cannot tolerate it anymore. So in order to change that, I have to change myself. I should not see what this one is doing or what that one is doing. Everyone will do good. But before that, I have to do good. I have to see what I am doing. So God tells this to everyone. See yourself and change yourself and connect yourself to God, then everything will become all right. First, and then you'll also become clean. And so first of all, you have to become clean and then take strength from God. Because they say, cleanliness is next to godliness. So cleanliness within leads to godliness, this connection with the Supreme. The soul has become too weak at the moment. It has become a slave of the atmosphere. It has become a slave of the vices. The world is making me move, or I have to move in the way the world wants me to move. And people say, but I have to do what everyone else is doing, is it not? But then if I check myself, if I look within and check myself, I come to know that I have to change. I don't have to see the world, I don't have to do so that I may show to the world, but I want to show to God, I want to show the self. So how should I live in the world? People ask. We should live in the world in such a way so that people look at me and say, yes, this is the way we have to move in the world, so that we become mirrors for others. So what is needed is an understanding, that's all. Who would be there in the world who would not know what is truth and what is untruth, what is sin, what is virtue, what is right, what is wrong, what is victory, what is defeat, what is sorrow, what is happiness, what is respect and what is disrespect. But then, in spite of knowing all this, still he will do wrong, even though he knows that it is wrong. And when he does something wrong, everyone does wrong, not that only some do wrong. Everyone does wrong in some way or the other. The intellect does realize that it is wrong, but it doesn't allow the intellect to work. The intellect does say this is wrong, this is right, but then the intellect is suppressed. The intellect is not allowed to work. Its voice is suppressed. The conscience voice is suppressed. But then if we allow the conscience to work, it will say, do this right action right now, or don't do this action, it is wrong. Also, God tells me what I have to do and what I have not to do. But I should be able to listen to God, listen to my inner conscience. So it's why I am not able to listen, because of inner desires, because of the worldly attractions, because of so many maybe obligations, maybe different responsibilities. But then at least let the understanding come in me of what is good for the soul and what is not good for the soul. Actually, my responsibility is to help someone through my life. That is more important, is it not? So who am I and whose am I, and what does the time tell us to do? So churn on this. First the self, then the one above, the Supreme, and then to connect the two. So clean the self, and connect to the Supreme. Then all these things of body consciousness, there are so many uncountable things of body consciousness, and the poor soul is like burdened with so many things of body consciousness. It has become so heavy. But I have to free myself from all that. And how will I be able to do it? Through knowledge, through understanding, through yoga, meditation, connection with the Supreme. Then the soul is pulled towards the Supreme Being. First the understanding came, then the love for God came, then the strength came through the connection with God. And so first the understanding came, yes, this is the right time for me to do the right actions, and I know that God will help me if I am doing the right actions. It's a wonder, is it not, that the Supreme Being belongs to all of us, that one belongs to all of us, and what I have to do is make that one belong to me. I tell the Supreme Being, you may belong to everyone, but then I say that he belongs to me. And people ask me, do you make use of him? How do you use him? Yes, I say, yes, I use him, because he belongs to me. So I use him in the way that he helps me at every moment. He has the strength to transform the world, and he has given that strength to me to transform myself first, so that I'm able to help him to transform the world. It's not that God does something, he makes his children transform the world, is it not? How will he do it on his own? Or how does he do it? He says, I don't need this world, I don't rule in this world, you need the world, you rule in this world, and therefore you have to make efforts to change yourselves. But then he helps us to change, definitely.
हम सबकी लाइफ में पूछे, हम कहेंगे, मैं फिर भी कहती हूँ, 4 प्रकार की भगवान से फायदे हैं.
You know, there are 4 benefits we can get from God. One is when I keep the courage,
मदद करता है.
God helps. He does help.
हिम्मत इतनी, मदद इतनी है.
That my courage may be 1% and the help is 99%. But I need that 1% courage. Then I need a true heart. So courage, true heart, and God gives so much help. Thirdly, when someone moves forward with courage and good heart, then the Supreme Being is my mother and father, is it not? Though the Supreme Being doesn't have a physical body, and I too am different from the body. My physical parents are here, but then the soul tells the Supreme Being, you are my mother and father supreme. So then God gives us so much love, so much love. That love becomes strength of the soul. This is natural, that when I tell somebody that you belong to me or I belong to you, immediately the love is felt. If a child tells the mother, Mommy, I belong to you, or the mother says, Child, you belong to me, then there's so much love between the two. If somebody else will touch me, I'll get afraid, no, because I want my mother and father. The soul here says, yes, God, you are my mother and father supreme. So God is the mother and father. When we say Father, we point out upwards. We say God the Father. But then that Father is saying, you belong to me. I say, you belong to me, and then the Father says, you belong to me. Otherwise, you can't see God with these physical eyes, but then still the eyes look upwards. And I say, God, I belong to you, or you belong to me. And then God will give you the reply, yes, child, you belong to me, and I belong to you. And then I get that supreme support. Just imagine, support of God is not a small thing. The child is able to recognize the Father. Who is He? How is He like? The recognition comes. So when I say, God, you are my mother and father, the love from the mother comes. And because of the mother's love, I am able to free myself from the untruth of this world. Then the mother tells me, child, do this, child, don't do that. And then I listen to my mother. So I get the teachings, I get the instructions, and I follow accordingly. Till today I tell myself that I'm a student, learning from God, who's also my teacher. He teaches me every day, every day. So till today He's teaching me every day. Till I begin to accept, yes, till I begin to change, till I change myself completely. So that no defects, no weaknesses, no drawbacks, nothing lags in me. This is what my mother and father want from me. That Supreme Mother and Father wants me to be the torchbearer of the world, a lighthouse of the world, to show light to the whole world. That Supreme Mother Father has great hope in me. So let me be the star of hope for my Supreme Mother and Father. I have a chance now. It's a very big chance for me. Let me accept this chance. Let me be like the shining star, showing light to the world. I'm a star of hope of God. Once I become the star of hope of God, then I give Jayanti Ben's example. She says, Jayanti, she says, I don't know where I said something about Jayanti. And Jayanti told Baba once, Baba, I make so much effort, I don't get success. And Baba told her, child, keep on doing it, and the day will come when success will come, will shower upon you. So this was like a blessing to me, to her. And when Baba sees that children are making so much effort, so Baba says, continue, don't worry, continue. Don't think that you are doing anything, just continue as you are doing. Because whom else will I say? I'll say to Baba, no, Baba making so much effort and yet there's no success. But Baba said, don't worry, you keep on going ahead, you keep on making effort, then success will shower upon you. So never get tired. Never get tired. First of all, don't become tired in your efforts, and then don't become tired in serving other souls. Never mind if obstacles come, never mind if tests come. Keep on doing, and then you'll receive the blessings. So first he gives hopes, then he gives help, and then he blesses. And then we become stars of success. Now we feel that success is like our birthright. It comes so natural to us. And after that, what will happen? We will become sparkling stars shining in the world. So time tells me, do it. And God tells me, yes, I am there to help you. And actually, all of you have been brought here or made to come here so that you change and then bring a change in the world. Is it not? You know why you have come here? For what purpose you have come here? Why have you come here? For what purpose have you come here? What have you to do? Yes, what you have to do is that you have to create the thought that first I have to do it, and I have to do it now. God is giving me the understanding. He says, don't make others your advocates or judges. Become your own judge. And if I make somebody else my advocate, then there could be some misunderstanding. You become your own judge yourself, your own advocate yourself. So time which was being wasted finishes, and that free time which was otherwise being wasted is used for going inside, because first it was caught, it was entangled, it was trapped. And now the mind is free, the intellect is free to churn about the self, to churn about God. So first is churning about the self, then churning about God, and then the connection comes, and that connection leads to power. It gives so much strength. So whatever God wants me to do, that I'm ready to do, because I've got the strength now to do it. So I don't say that I am doing it, but this is what God wants me to do, and this is what God is getting it done through me, because I have the understanding, I have the enlightenment, I have the time. If somebody says, I have the understanding but I don't have time, then also it is not sense. One is not sensible if somebody has understanding but he doesn't make use of the time, then will he be called sensible?
इतनी बुद्धि
So,
परमात्मा के साथ कनेक्शन में
so when the intellect is connected to the Supreme Mother, Father, Teacher, then the intellect becomes powerful. Then he's also my friend. There's the book, God's Companion. I was in Ecuador somewhere, and one sister had read this book, God's Companion, or The Companion. So, and through that book, The Companion, she did so much service there. So if God is my companion, then will he ever be frightened of anything? And God wants such companions. And also it's good for us too, because if we have God as our companion, we become fearless. So he's our mother, father, teacher, then our friend, our companion. Here you must be getting friendly feelings from everyone, is it not? Because everyone is your friend here. And then after that, he is the Satguru, the preceptor, the Supreme Guru. And Supreme Guru, he gives us instructions, gives us teachings, and we say, yes, we have to do it. Okay? Okay? No need to clap, but then just at least nod. Just nod. Yes, you understood? Okay, just nod, yes. I don't really, but you need not clap. But then when you nod, I feel so happy that you have understood. Time tells me to do it. God tells me, I help you, and I tell myself, yes, I'll do it. I won't do it alone, but we will do it together. So if all do it together, then what will happen? Where will the whole world go then? If we do it, then the world will also follow us. Once the light comes, darkness vanishes. Wherever I go, we are dressed in white, so people recognize us immediately. It's so good. Wherever we go in the world, in India too, wherever we go, people used to say, oh, who are these people? What religion they belong to? Are they Christians? Are they Hindus? What are they? But we say, no, we are messengers of God. So we free ourselves from waste things. When we are wearing white, we are free of even waste thoughts about what clothes to wear, what color clothes to wear. Morning, different color, afternoon, different color, evening, different color. So the mind is freed because I have to wear only white. So the mind doesn't go into what color, what clothes to wear. Therefore, the mind is then used for changing the self, for serving others. I become simple. I live with truth. Wherever you go to Pandav Bhavan, here, Shantivan, you'll find so much cleanliness everywhere. This is our life, where there's cleanliness from inside as well as outside. We also are so light, we don't have to press our head and show concern. No, we just sit straight and become aware of the self as a soul in the center of the forehead, and connect with the soul, with the Supreme Soul. Where do you do Amrit Vela? Here? Have I to come for Amrit Vela here? So now what do we have to do? Meditate. And then also give Toli to everyone. Anything else? Okay, thank you very much. Om Shanti.